When you get old enough, they're gonna steal your organs.
That's all I know.
Yo, nigga, get out, nigga.
Get out, nigga!
You guys are acting like a mob. That's what's going on. Fucking mob mentality. It's awesome because you guys are what, like 16? How old are you?
Go back to Europe where you came from.
But you give faggots rights.
When I was there and I was standing there and I seen that group of people in front of me and I seen the angry faces and all of that.
Then Phillips describes the tense moments now being replayed over and over again online when a young man got right in his face. Watch.
Okay, first off, I saw everything just like you guys did. I saw everything about these MAGA Trump kids going after a Native American veteran, and I was pissed. You know, who wouldn't be? Who in America, it doesn't matter what side of the political affiliation you're on, when you see something like that, it ticks you off because that is not what we're about. I'm talking America as a whole. I don't care about the party lines. But what really did happen? First off, there's a bunch of clips of media all over on the internet, and I'm gonna take it right here and consolidate it into one place so you can see what really happened. Now, there's a lot of video that surrounded this confrontation. Confrontation? I don't know. So you've got three groups of people in this story. And to understand this story in its entirety, you've got to familiarize with these three groups. First group involved in the story is the Covington Catholic teenagers that were just finishing up a pro-life walk. Doesn't matter whether you're pro-life, pro-abortion, whatever you are. That's irrelevant to the facts of an actual story. The Covington Catholic kids were there. They'd finished a pro-life walk that day, and they were all assembling, meeting together, waiting on their buses to take them home. That's player number one. Player number two, which doesn't get talked about hardly at all, is the Black Hebrews. Now, I have no idea what the Black Hebrew organization is about. I have a feeling, I'm not going to generalize all of them, but these guys that were at this event or protesting are wackadoodle. They're nuts. Now, I'm not saying all Black Hebrews are. I have no idea what Black Hebrew is. But these guys were morons.
I got one nigga in the crowd.
Whoa! Whoa! That's racist.
Oh, you got two niggas in the crowd. Oh, two niggas. Look at him. When you get old enough, they're gonna steal your organs.
That's all I know. Whoa! Hey, we love you, bro. Hey, we love you, kid. Hey, we love you.
Get out, nigga.
Get out.
Yo, nigga, get out, nigga.
Get out, nigga.
Whoa. Get out, nigga. You ain't see the movie?
Why you being mean?
Get out, nigga.
Why are you being
So you have this going on, right? You have this group of Black Hebrews that are taunting these kids. The kids finally decide to, you know what, walk away from it. According to what I've found, is they like to do their spirit chants for the school. They get together, they have these, you know, chants that they do, like same thing you do at a football game or anything else. And when they meet together in a big group, they like to record themselves doing it. They like to have a little camaraderie and do their thing. So they started doing that. They walked away from the Black Hebrews. They walked back up to the steps. They're assembling in a larger group. Everybody's getting back, and they start doing their chant. Now, at this time, they have walked away from the Black Hebrews. They're leaving alone. They're waiting for their bus, and they're doing their chants. Now, their chants were not build a wall, contrary to popular belief, because that's what Mr. Phillips, the third actor in this play, Mr. Phillips, the veteran that was a Native American, and also you've seen him all over the place, the viral guy banging the drum in front of the kid that allegedly blocked his way. You need to watch it for yourself. Draw your own conclusions. So you have these kids over here doing their spirit chants. By themselves, they've left the Black Hebrews and they're just sitting there, standing there, and they're getting all excited, all amped up. You have to remember, these are high school boys and they're doing these spirit chants. As they're doing the spirit chants, Mr. Phillips alleges on CNN interviews, etc., he alleged that I was trying to get between the two parties and separate this drama that was unfolding. No, the drama had already been separated, and Mr. Phillips goes straight up to the kids, and you can watch for yourself. Now the media portrayed that the kid got in this guy's face. I don't think so. Take a look and tell me what you think. Make up your own mind. I'm not picking sides here. I'm just uncovering what's really going on. Now, Mr. Phillips, he said that the teens were ready to rip him apart. And they were in his face, blocking his way. Is that what you see going on right here? Because I see a man walking to a group of boys, walking up into them, walking right up into the group, and I see him walking up to the kid in the puffy jacket that we've all been labeled as the kid that got in this veteran's face. No, the kid was standing there. The kid was standing there and Mr. Phillips approached him. And I don't know if you can tell in these videos, but Mr. Phillips is getting right in his face. He even leans in and brushes around the guy's nose. Now, I'm glad that the kid didn't pop him in the mouth, because if somebody was doing something like that to me, I'd probably have less tolerance. But here's the thing. There's a lot of video surrounding this. There's a ton of video, okay? There's minutes and minutes of video. I watched all of it, and guess what? I didn't see the kids saying anything. Now, yes, they're excited. This guy comes walking in with a drum. Half the kids in this group don't even know what's going on. Guy starts banging on the drum. They start jumping. Remember, they're all hyped up. They just got done doing their spirit cheers. They're running on adrenaline. These are high school boys. They start jumping around. They weren't saying build a wall. They're just jumping around. They hear the drum. The Native American is singing his chant. They start chanting with him. You'll hear kids multiple times throughout these videos going, what's going on? What's going on here? What is this? What is this? But you have this Native American, Mr. Phillips, the veteran, in the face of this other child. He's a child. He's in high school. He's a high schooler. The only hatred I saw in this was from the black Hebrews making all kinds of allegations. You already saw that earlier. And from one person, well, two people in the Native American protest party. One guy said, you all need to go back to Europe.
Why did you go back to Europe where you came from?
What did he just say? Hold on, let me rewind that. Because the media has labeled this to me as these kids being racist, saying build a wall and all this other kind of stuff. What did that guy just say?
Why did you go back to Europe where you came from?
Right. He said, go back to Europe. Now tell me in this video where you heard these kids saying anything. The black Hebrews start attacking gay rights, okay? I'm gonna soften this up. That's not what they said. They used a much more derogatory term. But they started slamming gay rights. And the kids were like, whoa, whoa, hang on.
But you give faggots rights. The Bible condemns homosexuality, man.
They're still
So
humans.
guess what? Read that again, Baba Kushar.
Think about it. Think about it. Think about how these kids have been slammed in the media. You got Dan Rather going out there after them. You've got other people putting up their names and saying these kids should be unemployed for life. All over a media twist. Now here is the crux of the story where it gets really bad and where I think that we have a major problem in America. The media, they pick through the same footage that I'm showing you. These are the same videos that they took clips from. They told the story that these kids surrounded this Native American protest, got in their face, and would not let them pass, and taunted the Native Americans. I'm sorry. I'm not about the Native American. I'm not about the kids. I'm not about Trump supporters. I'm not about the black Hebrews. I am about seeing stuff for myself and finding out what the truth is. And the truth is here, you had black Hebrews being morons. I don't know if all black Hebrews are that way, but this group here were being morons, saying dumb stuff. You've got that group that was taunting a bunch of kids, children. Yeah, they're high schoolers, but they're children. You have a Native American gentleman that decided to walk up to them and get right in their face for no reason. They weren't provoked. They weren't calling him over. They weren't calling him names. They had nothing to do with it. They were doing their own thing. Native American comes up, and then he has the nerve to sit on CNN and spin this into a completely different story.
I realized I had put myself in a really dangerous situation, you know. It's like, here's a group of people who were angry at somebody else, and I put myself in front of that, and all of a sudden I'm the one who's all that anger and all that wanting to have the freedom to just rip me apart.
Wanting to have the freedom to rip me apart. Now we just living in a fantasy world here. Is that what we're doing? Just gonna make up stuff willy-nilly? Nobody was wanting to rip you apart. You know, if you want to call out somebody about not being proper or racially sensitive, why not call out your brother that was telling all these kids to go back to Europe? Why not? You want to do something right, go after your own guy that was stepping out of line. But you want to take it out on the kids. You're something else. You know what I see here? What I see here is a kid. That this one Native American gentleman starts telling the group as a whole to go back to Europe. And I see that's the only time you got a reaction out of the kid in the puffy jacket. He turns around to his friend that's standing behind him and he says, no, don't get involved with this. They were avoiding conflict at all cost, or trying to. To that person that was in the crowd calling the kids a bunch of mob, they were the ones waiting for the bus. You guys were the ones that approached them. So who had the mob mentality? Let's be real about that. And coincidentally, the one gentleman that told the kids to go back to Europe, he also started flipping the script. He walked up to the middle of these kids and he starts telling them, we were here doing a protest and you guys just came in.
We were here already. We were here already, man. We had a demonstration here. Now you come here and fucking do this? You being white. You being white. You being a white man about it. That's all you need to learn how to do. We had a demonstration here.
No, that's not what happened. They were gathering on the steps waiting for a bus. You guys approached them. And then you're saying, be white? What does that even mean? What does that mean? Who started making this conversation about racism or making it racial? The Black Hebrews did, and the Native American gentleman. So after it was all said and done, the Native American left. He went back. He took his steps back away from the steps. He raised his hands and he started saying, relatives, relatives. And when he stopped, the Black Hebrews started up again, started their nonsense. The kids turned around, looked at the Black Hebrews, stood around for a little bit. Then finally their buses showed up. And guess what? They were excited to leave, to get out of there. And I'll tell you what, I'd be excited to get out of there too. But let's be straight. This was a group of high school boys. These were adults taunting a group of kids, and then had the nerve to go into the media and let it appear to be something that it wasn't. What's going on in America? Why do we let the media get away with this? They saw the same clips that I did. They did this. This was an intentional attack on people, innocent people. Sometimes the movie magic that the media uses isn't all it's cracked up to be. I'm Jake from Radio Underland. If you'd like to get more of these kind of stories, tune in to us 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays, radiounderland.com. We live stream on YouTube every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.